A very good morning to you doing the lesson, and it's 7 o'clock and it's time for Windy News Compilation. Coming up, the headlines. University of Education Winneba is currently hosting the 7th African Linguistics School, fostering global exchange in linguistics. And NCA addresses public concerns over high internet data pricing. And on the international front, Instagram removes 63,000 sextortion accounts in Nigeria. Presenting the news as Nana Ama Nyamike Baini. Now the news in detail. The University of Education Winneba is currently hosting the 7th edition of the African Linguistics School, an esteemed international program in the field of linguistics. The event brings together renowned faculty and advanced students from across the globe, providing a dynamic platform for knowledge exchange and networking. The African Linguistics School features distinguished faculty members from various continents including Africa, Europe and America. The diverse team of educators is joined by students hailing from these same regions, creating a truly international environment for intellectual engagement. Dr. Abraham Kwesi Bisoki, a senior lecturer at UEW and the chairman of the local organizing committee, explained the significance of the event.
Europe and America, and we have our students from across these continents too. It's a very important intellectual exercise where this faculty are imparting knowledge to the students, and it's a platform for knowledge exchange, for knowledge impartation, and for networking. A program, actually, as in the classes, started today, and it will run up until the 2nd of August. So we are having roughly 13 days of intensive teaching and learning. So the program will end on the 2nd of August, and then I think by 3rd, participants should be leaving. The courses that are taught here focus on the key aspects of linguistics. In other words, it focuses on the key areas of languages. So you have courses in phonology, you have courses in syntax, you have courses in language documentation, you have courses in theoretical linguistics and social linguistics. If I didn't mention that, right? And we have even sign language also being taught. So
Dr. Bisoki enumerated several benefits the conference will have on participants, including helping participants currently conducting their research to get the best orientations and input to understand their field.
Say that these students are not, the ordinary students, students in the ordinary sense that one would have taken. These are advanced students, the least being master students, doctoral students, and even some are postdocs. So the impact this is expected to have on them is that those who are currently conducting their research, this is a platform where they are going to get the best, orientations, the best input to understand their field and to understand the things that they need to know to be able to come out with cutting-edge research. So, and here they can even ask questions about the research that they are doing, provided those research, of course, every research falls within a certain sub-area of linguistics, and as I mentioned, almost all the core areas of linguistics are being taken care of here. So they can have people to ask questions regarding their research that is ongoing, whether they are masters, they are PhD, or they are postdoctoral students that are working on certain research projects. Now, here also, as I said, is a platform for networking. So those who are here and are studying in various African universities can network with some of these professors. And as they go back, those who are doing masters may
Away from that, linguistic is often misunderstood by the general public. Many people perceive it simply as the study of languages, focusing on learning how to speak, interpret, and translate them. While these are indeed applications of linguistics, the field goes far beyond these basic elements, encompassing complex scientific and technical aspects that delve deeply into the structures and systems underpinning human languages. On the site of the ongoing 7th edition of the African Linguistics School being held at the University of Education, Winneba, Radio Winneba caught up with a participant, Tajuddin Mahmoud Yakubu, who is a visiting assistant professor at the University of Michigan, had this insight to share.
The general misconception about linguistics is that people tend to think of linguistics about as something that concerns itself with learning how to speak a language and interpreting and translating and stuff like that. Well, while all of those are part of things you can do with linguistics, linguistics goes way beyond, and it can be as technical as any science that you know. For instance, linguistics, there are subfields of linguistics that concerns themselves with, say, experimental data, right? Where they collect data, they analyze it, they do statistics, right, to the data to be able to pull out, hidden structures in the language that you might not see if you only, or you might not know about if you only hear someone speak. Or it can be as technical as, very mathematical. For instance, in fact, there is a subfield of linguistics that is called mathematical and computational linguistics, such that we use mathematical notions and computational science, computer science notions to actually analyze linguistic data. Right?
A pressing issue within linguistics is the phenomenon of language extinction. Countless languages face the threat of disappearing, often faster than they can documented and studied. The assistant professor of linguistics is optimistic that emergences of technology will help remedy the situation.
Languages are dying at a faster rate than we are able to actually collect data on them. But the silver lining here, right? So the positive here is that with the new technology that that I just mentioned and that people are discovering by the day, we are able to collect even with a small but representative amount of
Now away from the university story, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has approved the establishment of the University of Local Governance and Development. The pioneering institution is set to address the critical needs and gaps in the country's local government system, with a relevant bill expected to place before Parliament to finalize the process. The Minister of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, Martin Ejemen Sakosa, reviewed the details of the ambitious project during a recent working visit to the Institute of Local Government Studies. The minister inspected several ongoing infrastructure projects designed to pave the way for the new university, which is expected to be completed by November this year. He emphasized the uniqueness of the project and expressed optimism that the university would become a center of excellence in local governance education. The development includes a 5-story lecture block, a newly completed 1,800-seater conference center known as the Great Hall, and an administration block. Additionally, the construction of 560 executive hostels in underway, alongside the renovation of existing structures such as 250-seater auditorium, library, graduate block, and a decentralization office. The ongoing project reflects the Institute's commitment to advance local governance and public management in the country. Mr. Kosa urged the contractors to expedite work to meet the deadline to ensure that the Institute commences operations promptly. Now let's do some politics. The flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress for the 2024 election, John Mahama, has described the banking sector cleanup undertaken by the government as hasty. He said that decision affected indigenous capital in the financial and banking sector and has therefore pledged to restore the capital of indigenous businesses in that sector. Consequently, he said the NDC was advocating an independent review of the process that went into the banking sector cleanup and gave an assurance that the license of those that were unjustly treated would be restored. Former President Mahama said this when the global president of Group Indum, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum, paid a courtesy call on him to present a petition for his support for the reinstatement of GN Bank and Black Shield. Present at the meeting were the chairman of the NDC, John Asiedu Inkatia, and the former chief of staff, Julius Debra. Mr. Mahama said the criteria that were used by the government did not constitute a one-size-fits-all approach, as they were just like different rules for different people. The NDC flag bearer said it was a pity that when he went around the country, a number of microfinance firms, including the defunct GN banks, were firmly shut down with padlock, stressing that these closures left more communities without financial service. In his remarks, Dr. Indum, accompanied by some senior management members of his firm, said his firm built a bank from the beginning with the objectives of being the people's bank, to be everywhere to serve the ordinary Ghanaian. Now, the majority leader in Parliament, Honorable Alexander Afenyomarkin, has called on the National Democratic Congress MPs to impress upon their flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, to engage in a debate on national issues with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Speaking on the floor of Parliament on July 24, the Afutu Member of Parliament emphasized the need for a debate instead of resorting to insult and name callings and also insinuations. Let's take a listen to Honorable Alexander Afenyomarkin.
Of facts, I'm sure you wouldn't want to challenge it because the videos are there following the flag bearer. But Mr. Speaker, it is important that your MPs should not just follow your flag bearer. They should encourage your flag bearer to make himself available for a debate with Dr. Bawumia, because you are, Mr. Speaker, in this election, we should make available facts to Ghanaians. And I would encourage us as parliamentarians to urge upon our flag bearers to avail themselves for a debate. We need a debate. The way we debate in this chamber, Mr. Speaker, is very important. And this is a call I'm making as a leader of the House, that let us encourage debate so that the name calling, the insinuation, the toxic nature of the political space could be brought down.
Meanwhile, in a sharp rebuttal, the minority leader Kasala to Forsen dismissed the idea, likening Bawumia to a driver's mate unqualified to debate an experienced driver like Mahama. He suggested that the vice president should first debate the minority spokesperson on finance and the economy before considering a debate with the former president.
The Speaker, how can a driver mate debate an experienced driver? Mr. Speaker, in this House, the spokesperson for the minority on the issues of finance is Honorable Adongo. The spokesperson for the minority for the issues of the economy is Honorable Kweku Rekitega. And the spokesperson for the budget for the minority is Honorable Ampemdako. Mr. Speaker, we all know that the chairman of the economic management team is the vice president. So the vice president can only debate Honorable Adongo. He should debate Honorable Adongo or debate Honorable Kweku Rekitega. A driver mate cannot debate an experienced driver. No, that is a fact. So we throw at the challenge. He should debate Honorable Adongo first, Honorable Ampem second, and Honorable Kweku Rekitega third, before he consider debating President Mahama. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is the answer. He should go and debate him first.
What we have is...
Now, away from that, the National Communication Authority has responded to public concerns regarding high internet data pricing, affecting businesses and sparking outrage on social media. Many have called for the dissolution of the NCA board due to high data costs and unreliable data supply, which some attribute to MTN's declaration as a significant market power. However, in a statement dated June 21, 2024, the NCA clarified that the SMP classification aims to promote fair competition in the telecommunications industry, not burden MTN's operation. The authority explained that the unbalanced interconnection rate, tariff parity, and technology neutrality will improve competition, encourage innovation, and protect consumers' interests. These measures, according to the NCA, will enable other operators to compete effectively, offer sustainable prices, and invest in improving service quality. The NCA, contrary to public concerns, also cited a report which ranked Ghana as the third cheapest country in Africa and second in West Africa for mobile internet data pricing. The NCA has assured consumers that it will continue to work closely with stakeholders to ensure reliable internet access. Now, away from that, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jane Aduke-Mensah, has assured the public of the Commission's commitment to provide a level playing field for all candidates and political parties in this year's general election. She said the Commission would undertake its mandate in the upcoming elections without favor or fear, from the registration to the declaration of result. Mrs. Mensah said the Commission will operate in the spirit of transparency, fairness, and integrity as embedded in its motive to work to deliver a credible, fair, peaceful, and transparent electoral process. The EC chairperson gave the assurance when she answered questions from members of Parliament on the floor of the House Friday, July 19, on the Commission's preparation towards the upcoming general election. Giving an update on this year's limited voter registration exercise, she said it took place in all 268 district offices across the country, including the Guan district, in addition to 800 difficult-to-reach centers and others at 25 public universities. At the end of the 23-day exercise, Mrs. Mensah said 778,447 new voters were registered, exceeding the original target of 623,000. Out of the number, 63.68% used the guarantor system, while 36.28% used the Ghana card, while 0.34% used their passport to prove their citizenship and age. She added that the number of females registered in the exercise summoned up to 408,332, constituting 52.45% of the total number of those registered, while male voters amounted to 370,115, constituting 47.55%. Now, away from that, let's do some international stories. Instagram owner Meta says it has removed thousands of accounts in Nigeria that were trying to target people in sextortion schemes. Such scammers typically pose a young woman online to trick people into sending sexually explicit material before blackmailing them. Victims of sextortion crimes have taken their own lives due to the stress, stigma, and shame felt after being scammed. Meta said in a blog post on Wednesday it had removed about 63,000 accounts that tried to engage with scams. The company said it also took down 5,700 Facebook groups in which scammers were offering tips on how to scam people. Experts and authorities have previously warned social media users to remain aware and alert of the scams' dangers amid their apparent rise. To end the news, the headlines again. University of Education Winneba is currently hosting the 7th African Linguistics School, fostering global exchange in linguistics. And NCA addresses public concerns over high internet data pricing. And on the international front, Instagram removed 63,000 sextortion accounts in Nigeria. The new script was presented by Nana Ama Nyamike Baini. At the same time next week for another episode of Windy News Compilation. Thank you for doing the listening and do enjoy the rest of our programs. Have a good morning.
This is Radio Windy Bay, Windy Bay 98.3 FM.